When you are accountable to other people, you are more likely to follow through. Whether it's in entrepreneurship, whether it's in personal development, whether it's working out or working on yourself, when you are feeling like somebody else is counting on you besides you, you're way more likely to follow through. Think about going to the gym, right? You may not like going to the gym. You may find reasons to put off going to gym. Maybe it's early morning. Maybe you're tired. You didn't sleep well last night. Your muscles still hurt from yesterday. All sorts of reasons and excuses you come up with. But if you know that somebody else is going to be there, your friend is going to be there waiting for you, you're way more likely to follow through because now it's not just about you. I created a challenge inside my Movement Makers program. And Movement Makers is a program I created to help thought leaders, experts who want to build up their following and want to get their message out to the world. You got a big message in here, let's get it out to the world. And you train with me, but you also get to connect with each other. And I was frustrated that people were not making enough content. You've got such a big message, such a big potential voice, your story matters, and people were not making enough content. And everybody was living, not everybody, but a good chunk of people were living inside the typical reasons we all come up with, right? I'm too busy, I don't know what gear to use, I don't like how I look on camera, my videos suck, over and over and over, the same reasons. And so I decided to do something a couple months ago that was different. I said, you know what? We are gonna do a challenge because the thing that's missing is momentum. You guys have the heart and the soul and the care. And just like, if you ever meet anybody in Movement Makers, it's just good people. Just, some of the nicest, friendliest, most caring, most giving people that I've ever met. You've got everything. You're just missing momentum. You're just not putting that up there because there's too much blockage in your head. You need momentum. And so out of that frustration, I came up with the Momentum Challenge. And my goal with the Momentum Challenge was for them to make content, but not just make content, actually create the content in a way that can generate business for them. So the challenge was structured in 5 pieces of content. One was a solo video, and the theme was momentum. So you have to make a solo video on momentum. 2 is 3 collaboration videos with other people in Movement Makers. So you need to do an interview with somebody and collaborate on the theme of momentum. And then the third thing was to do a lead magnet on momentum. So lead magnet basically implies that you create a PDF or you create a unlisted video that you can share in return for people giving you their email address. So they email you, you give them the PDF, and now they're on your email list, and you can use that to continue to build a relationship and ultimately work with them, hopefully in some capacity, right? Where you're serving, caring, and making money in the process too. So that's the challenge. And whoever's in, you have the whole month to do it. And at the end of the month, whoever completes the challenge, we're going to do a Clubhouse Live all together and celebrate. I didn't know how it would go. I hope people would take me up on it, but it's easy to have a lot of excitement at the beginning, right? Have you ever been excited by something at the beginning and then pretty quickly you fall off the tracks, right? Has that ever happened to you? We're talking about a month here. It's not just make one video today. It's you got to stay consistent for a month. You got to make 5 pieces of content in a month. And for a lot of people, they didn't know how to do collaborations and never done an interview with somebody else. For a lot of people, they didn't know what a lead magnet was or how to make one or how to save a PDF or how to set up a landing page, how to do all the tech behind the scenes, right? And those are the excuses that they were holding on to for why they couldn't win in their own business. But now it's being forced. Now you have to do it. And I didn't know how well it would work out. And fortunately, it went insanely well. People had some of the best conversations of their lives. People finally got the tech side of their business figured out with landing pages and lead magnets. People started forming alliances and partnerships and cooperations and joint ventures with each other that I'd never even anticipated or seen. Why? Because they were committed to each other. Because now it wasn't just about doing it for themselves, it was about doing it with somebody. And here's what's important. It's not just doing it by yourself or for somebody. It's doing it with somebody. That makes a big difference because If you're watching this channel, you're probably a heart-driven entrepreneur, right? That's why I love you. It's why you're here. You're a heart-driven entrepreneur. You want to serve. You want to make money. You want to have an impact, right? It's not just about the dollars, but also putting something positive out into the world that you're proud of. Whether it's making content like this or products or services, you want to serve. You are built to serve. It's why you're here. And I love that. And so you can connect to the mission and the service because you're doing it for somebody, right? You're doing it for your audience. You're doing it for your customers. You're doing it for the people who are going to consume what you're creating. That's very different though than doing it with somebody, because most entrepreneurs, and this is a good gut check or look in the mirror for yourself, most entrepreneurs are doing it by themselves. Even if you have a team, you still feel like you're doing it by yourself. There's nobody who actually gets what you do. Does that sound familiar? Do you feel like you're kind of alone on this? People who support you and might cheer you on, but they're not in the same boat. They're not trying to do what you do. They don't know how to help besides giving some words of encouragement. So you feel like you're doing it by yourself. And man, is it hard to do something that's hard when you're by yourself. And that's where you need the mental toughness and the discipline and the scheduling and the calendar and you do hard things. And one of the best hacks to make sure you actually follow through is you have some accountability. And not just somebody to hold your feet to the fire to say, hey, what are you doing? You don't need a boss. But you need to feel like you're doing this with people. That you're doing your thing, but with others. And I think that's where the Movement Makers Challenge just really played out super well, is that now all of a sudden, people are booking collaborations with each other and they know what to talk about, where before they wouldn't book an interview because they didn't know what questions to ask. People are now helping each other with their landing pages and lead magnets, where in the past they would tell themselves, I don't know the tech, I'm too confused, I need to hire somebody, but I have no money to hire somebody. And now all of a sudden they're getting it done. Now it's happening. Where months or a year might have gone by and they still hadn't done it, now all of a sudden there's momentum happening. Why? Because they committed to somebody else. And because they committed to the group that they want to complete this thing. And then the celebration. When we did our clubhouse at the end of the month, the stories and the emotion was just so amazing. It became, Movement Makers started as me sharing a message. I'm going to teach you how to X, Y, Z. And it became so much more about the family and the community and the connection that really people are following through, not just because of the ideas that I'm giving them, but because they have a group of people that they're doing this thing with. So find your own group, or find one person. I have something I remind myself of constantly, that I like to collect good people. I want to find good people. I want to be around good people. I want to be around the people who fill me up, who make me feel like I'm worthy, I can do great things, make me energized. I leave them feeling better about myself than when I came in. I want to be around those people. And when I find somebody like that, I want to fight to find more time with them. And as an introverted, shy person, that can be really difficult and awkward. And I'm still afraid to ask for help. And I probably still don't do that enough. Somebody, there was a speaker who I spoke at his event, and he's like, how can I help you? I was like, I'm just here to serve. I wanted to help, no problem, and he wrote back, said, no, I owe you. Like, how can I help you? And it's still something I'm working on and doing a better job in asking for help, because I'll default to just find the solution myself. Don't want to burden people. It's the story that is in my head that I need to fix. But when you can find people to do something with, when you are on your path and you feel alone and you're struggling and the motivation isn't there, but then you know that somebody else is on the same journey with you, you're so much more likely to follow through. And so I encourage you not to do this alone, not to live life alone, not to run your business alone, that you'll have a greater degree of joy, of happiness, of impact, of service, of momentum, of progress, of results, when you have people, even one person, who you feel like you're doing this with. So don't try to be the hero all the time and feel like you have to do everything yourself. Don't think, well, I'm doing this for people and that's enough. Make it a goal of yours that in the next 30 days, you're going to find somebody who's going to help hold you a little bit accountable, and you're going to hold them accountable too. You're giving just as much as you're taking. And together, you're going to create something amazing. It's a true scenario where 1 + 1 = 14. That you plus them equals tremendous growth for both of you. You don't have to do this alone. Get somebody to help you stay accountable. If you want another Evan rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there. You can choose at any moment positivity. You can choose at any moment gratitude. You can choose at any moment service. You can choose to change your mindset in an instant if you wanted to.